All right, so we got our engine test fitted in here and test fitted these hooker headers I picked up some years ago for this project, and just wanting to make sure everything fits. The headers fit nicely, don't hit the mounts anywhere. The oil pan's gonna work. It's actually not hanging down as low as the headers are. So I hope the headers don't cause us a problem hanging down that low. But actually, if you look at it, they're about where they need to be for the exhaust clearance for the transmission cross member and all. So I don't think we could have got away. Even shorty headers, you might not have had as much tube down there at the front part, but I don't know. But anyhow, I couldn't stand it, so I had to test fit it, and it looks good. So we'll keep on plugging away at it. Like I said, I still the engine's got to come back out so I can fix the oil pan, or pull the oil pan off and put the oil pump in, and then put the pan back on. So we'll do that. And then the intake's just bolted on. It don't have any gaskets up underneath of it, so we'll have to do that. And then they'll be ready to start dressing the engine out, basically. But we got to, like I said, we got to pull the cover off the rear end, which means that track bar is going to have to come off because there's not enough clearance to pull the cover off without doing that. So you pull the track bar off, pull the cover, pull the axles, do the axle bearings and wheel seals, and we'll do the pinion seal. Then we'll put the cover on with a new gasket, and then we can fill it up with gear oil, and then we can do the brakes. So then that'll pretty much do the rear of the truck. We need to put the shocks on, which we got the bushings in two of the bushings in one of the shocks, and we got to put the other two bushings in the other shock, and they'll be ready to go on. So that's kind of where we are right now. Just working at it a little bit at a time. Probably gonna get us a new dipstick. The transmission had a chrome dipstick and a chrome transmission pan on it, but they've kind of seen better days, so I guess we'll do. That's really nothing compared to the rest of the money I'm spending on this thing, so we'll do that. And while we're waiting on the front control arms to come in, we'll get the brake lines ordered, and like I said, when the control arms come in, we'll get the front suspension buttoned up, and then we'll have us a roller again, and then we'll be real close to putting the cab on. So like I said, the next step will be getting the fenders off the truck here, and radiator support and all that. And we also got a new heater core to go in this thing, so we'll probably put that in there while we got the front end off of it before we put the cab on the frame. We'll probably put that heater core in there, so make everything where we can get to it real easy. So we're just plugging away at it, getting a little bit done at a time. But like I said, it's getting closer to being good here. I'm really getting excited now, because it's coming together. So once we get it back rolling, I don't have power in my shop right now, so I have to roll it up close to the house, and we'll fabricate some exhaust for this thing. I've got some 90s, some 45s, and some U-bends, and so we'll fabricate up the exhaust for it. And yeah. Yeah, getting closer every time. So I think this afternoon, because it's warm, I think I'll run get the brake drums, the calipers and rotors, and bring them out here and get some paint on them. That way they'll be ready whenever we're ready. So, and then we could assemble our tie rods and some of that stuff. We could actually put the steering box and the steering linkage on too. We'll see how that works out. Well, there's not a rush on that, but it can go together before. That steering linkage can go together before we get the front suspension together, so that'll be another thing we can do while we're waiting on parts. So lots of stuff that can be done, so we're just getting after it, plugging away at it. So something interesting I just noticed here. You know, this is the factory brake booster master cylinder proportioning valve. And if you look here, there's a fitting right here. It's got a plug in it, and there's a brake line right here. And it goes inside the cab. So that must go, this thing's got a trailer brake controller in it. So that must go to the trailer brake controller, and it does. Ain't that special? I've never seen one that worked hydraulically, I don't think. That's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. So I guess whenever you mash the brakes, the hydraulic pressure goes to the brake controller, and then, which I can't say I ever worked on a brake controller, so I can't say how it works, but I know how this one works. The pressure will go up to the brake controller, and then it'll trigger an electric signal. Here's the power out of the brake controller into this old school variable resistor is what it says on it. And then this wire goes to the back to hook into the trailer harness. It's kind of crazy. Never noticed that before. Or never looked at this one. I never really looked at one close, but it's very interesting. So Just cool stuff. Never noticed before. But anyhow, so we're going to get back after this. And keep on plugging away at it. So y'all stay tuned and we'll show you more as I go.